What if I told you the Islam you see in Seoul today feels both ancient and new? A faith that touched the peninsula centuries ago, faded from memory, reappeared through war, grew through global trade, and now sits inside a cultural conversation most people never hear. That story changes how we understand Korea. South Korea is full of contrasts. It shares music and culture with the world, yet inside the country people can still feel unsure about anything unfamiliar. Islam is small in numbers, but when it appears in the news, it seems louder than it is. A country that reaches out to the world may still be unsure about some aspects of it, and this tension shapes the beginning of the story. Muslim merchants traveled to Korea via traditional trade routes centuries ago. They lived with Koreans, traded goods, and shared knowledge. Over time, those memories faded, and the connection nearly vanished. Why does Islam feel unfamiliar now when it has previously touched this land? In 1427, a royal decree discouraged visible Muslim practices. Clothing and rituals gradually faded, and the community disintegrated over generations. When a memory fades, the present becomes more difficult to comprehend. Forget the past, and the present becomes completely new. Islam returned to Korea during the Korean War, when Turkish troops arrived with medical tents and civilian aid. Their kindness made a lasting impression, and as a result of these friendships, a few Koreans converted to Islam. War causes hardship, but it also creates unexpected friendships that shape the future. The oil crisis of the 1970s pushed Korea to form new Middle Eastern partnerships. Companies traveled abroad for work, and relationships with Muslim countries strengthened. These relationships boosted support for early Muslim institutions in Seoul. Global trade has the potential to shape a country in ways that are not immediately apparent. The Seoul Central Mosque in Itaewon first opened in 1976. It became a focal point for prayer, education, and community life. A structure becomes meaningful when it brings people together, and this one became a landmark for Muslims throughout the city. The Korea Muslim Federation was founded to organize community life, provide halal services, and reach out through education. Over time, it became a link between Muslims and the rest of society. When a network forms, it can help many people move forward. Early Korean converts came across Islam while studying abroad or meeting Muslims at work. Their gatherings were small and quiet, but they laid the groundwork for a modern Muslim identity in Korea. Small beginnings can lead to long-lasting change. Today, Korea's Muslim population is in the low hundreds of thousands, with the majority being foreign residents. Numbers vary, but growth accelerated after the 1990s due to labor migration. Numbers can look different depending on your perspective, which is why the story is frequently misunderstood. Many migrants came for labor programs, working in factories, farms, and ports. Halal shops and small prayer spaces grew around these jobs. A community grows one person, one family, and one workplace at a time. Foreign workers often live in small rooms and work long hours, yet they support one another through meals and shared faith. Hardship builds strong bonds, and those bonds keep people rooted even far from home. Students and professionals from Muslim countries have introduced new languages and cultures to Korea's Muslim community. Each group contributed something different. Many paths lead to the same city. Korean dramas and K-pop bring millions of Muslim visitors to Korea. Their search for halal food and prayer spaces encouraged local businesses to adapt. When culture travels, hospitality finds new ways to welcome people. Some Koreans find comfort in Islam's sense of equality. In a culture shaped by age and hierarchy, standing side by side in prayer feels freeing. Faith can speak to the heart in simple ways. For Korean women who practice Islam, the hijab is a personal journey. It arouses curiosity, sometimes confusion, but it also provides strength. Clothing can convey stories that are not immediately apparent. Korea entered the global halal market via food exports and tourism. Business moved quickly, but public comfort grew at a slower rate. Business can move quickly, but hearts take their time. Many Koreans have little direct contact with Muslims, so impressions often come from global news. When people never meet, fear grows faster than understanding. Some communities are concerned about changes related to halal shops or mosque projects. These concerns stem from personal feelings about identity and neighborhood life. When people with different beliefs meet, they look for a way to understand one another. The arrival of asylum seekers on Jeju Island sparked a national conversation about immigration and readiness. One event can open a difficult discussion, and that moment showed how sensitive these topics can be. The plan for a mosque in Daegu led to questions about noise, culture, and neighborhood change. Supporters and residents held different hopes for their community. A single building can carry many meanings. The story of Islam in Korea is a story of connection, loss, and rediscovery. Old ties faded, new ones formed through war and global work, and growth continues through education and migration. Korea's future with its Muslim population will depend on daily interactions, shared experiences, and a willingness to understand each other.